It's your boy Dom the Hustler back at you with another reaction video. We finna react to Samson birthday bash. I have nothing to say to lead up to this. I mean, I had a birthday on July 15th. It was cool. It was great. I had a party. I think that was one of the last days I smoked. And I'm not gonna say drink, but I got crunk. I got real crunk on my birthday. I turned 27. So yeah, that was my birthday bash. Don't know what to expect from this. This is my boy Samson though, so let's get it. Oh. Okay. Okay. I could have read this to you guys. I'm sorry. I could have definitely read this to you guys. I didn't know this was Obama's party though.
They're following all the safety precautions. People are going to sporting events that are bigger than this. This is going to be safe. This is a sophisticated, vaccinated crowd, and this is just about optics. It's not about safety.
One hell of a party. I wish I was there. But with all this COVID, I bet you guys were scared. Well, you probably followed every rule with all the activities you did that night. I mean, you probably kept 6 feet apart the whole time, and you only took your mask off for pictures, right? I bet you did. I bet you took every precaution. I bet you stopped the party every 20 minutes just to check everybody's temperature often. I bet you did. I bet everybody had to show the proof of their vax, and if they didn't, then they had to go home because Obama would never approve of this crap. I bet all the servers and caterers had to wear gloves when they served you your fave dessert. I really hope that you paid them first because they were risking their lives celebrating your date of birth. You said that you scaled it back cause there's too much at stake. Yeah, I bet you scaled it back cause y'all motherfuckers are a bunch of snakes. If I were to get a big group together, the media would put me through the shredder. I'd be responsible for everybody's death for the next 6 months, a super spreader. But Obama, don't be stupid, never. This event was sophisticated. This ain't no bean toss, beer chugging bullshit in the backyard listening to a playlist of country music. You dumb, useless, stupid, small little measly runts. We can party if we damn well please, but you? Not even once, don't think about it. Matter of fact, it'd be better if you just didn't think at all. Now shut the f up and put your mask on before we have to get more deeply involved. We were outside, but under a tent, so technically that makes it inside, but it was still outside. You know what I meant, shut up. Whatever, you're never gonna hear the story from us. We'll just have Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo talk about Trump and how horrible he was. The media would take a dump in their britches if they caught wind that a Republican did this, and that just goes to show the double standards and the hypocrisies when it comes to this instance. Doesn't it just piss you off? What? They come and they cut your small business off. They grip their claws around and constrict till you ain't making shit, then they tell you to suck it up and limp it off. Yes.
Yo, my boy Samson's going hard. I love his flow. The flow is definitely hitting with the beat perfectly. My boy got it. Yo, now I get an understanding what the song's about, and I agree with Samson completely. Obama's probably having that birthday party in the deep COVID when everybody was having their business shut down. We couldn't even walk on beaches, yo. What the hell? It was scientifically proven it wouldn't spread outside, and we couldn't even walk on the beaches. For some reason, a lot of lakes were closed down due to bacteria. I mean, this probably doesn't surprise you guys, so I can't swim, so there's no reason for me to be out there in the water like that. But no, yeah, let's get back into it. I know my boy got more to say.
Skip and hop into their private jets and fly to Barack's island to thrive and rest, burning all that fuel into the sky while our fragile climate is in such a dire stretch. With all these dying people packed in the hospitals, I think you should feel a tad bit responsible. You could have probably killed so many friends of yours, you just added to the top of the toll. That's what you say to me when I walk into Kroger maskless. Why would I follow these rules that you yourself don't even practice? Perhaps if you stuck to your story, we wouldn't be so fucking disorderly. You say that it's dangerous and then you do shit like this, and that's just what floors me. Well, you're my role model. You're the one I'm supposed to follow, so I'm gonna call everybody I know and throw a big ass party like there's no tomorrow. The Newsom way, the Obama way, like a Nancy Pelosi spa day. We're gonna rip the mask off and hug each other till we can't hold on any longer. Yay! It may not be sophisticated as yours, but I gotta work with what my pay can afford. I'm just taking orders from the people that matter, the powerful ones. This is straight from the source. Thanks, Obama, I get the message. Your actions spoke loud and clear. The World Health Organization, the CDC, and Fauci. Here's the bottom line. All right. How long are we gonna do this? It's all up to us and it always has been. There really ain't nothing new to it. Our rights are being stripped. All you gotta do is take a look around, and it's only gonna get worse from here unless we as a whole put our foot down.
Okay.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Man, my boy Samson killing it. I love a good song with a message, and this is the one. Yo, the 10 out of 10 on this. 10 out of 10. Samson videos don't even like, it's like one scene. It's like a one take. And it's a 10 out of 10. I fucks with it heavy. My boy Samson be killing it. My boy Samson needs more recognition. Who agrees with me? He needs more recognition, man, because this guy's killing it. I'm glad I found out about this guy. No lie. Like, really though, for real though. Like, COVID, come on, guys. Like, you get more bacteria wearing a mask. We all know people ain't changing the mask all the time. They're wearing the same mask. They're not washing these things. I mean, if you are, more power to you. That's smart. But it just builds up more bacteria, which is going to get you more sick. And yeah, there's a lot of situations with the politicians that wasn't following the rules or guidelines and stuff. Like, I remember there was one politician that was getting her nails done, her hair done. People couldn't even get their hair cut at this time, you know? Like, what was really pissing me off is a lot of businesses were getting shut down. And it wasn't Amazon, it wasn't Walmart, it wasn't like Winco, it wasn't, Fred Meyer's or anything. It was the, mom and pop shops that we all dare to love. They were all getting closed down. And like, one thing I realized when I was working, because we were working through COVID, unfortunately, we were working through COVID, but what I found out a lot is a lot of workers didn't want to come to work because they found out they can take that 2 weeks off and get paid. That 2 weeks off and get paid? Yo, there was so many of my workers that wasn't trying to come in because they were just getting that 2 weeks. They're getting that 2 weeks. And they're saying, I'm sick. All you had to say was you were sick. And they were like, oh, you don't come in. And, 2 weeks. Damn, 2 weeks is a long time without work. Don't get me wrong. And to add on to that, they were getting unemployment on top of that. Yo, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I filed for unemployment, but I didn't get it. Because you want to know why? Because I was working. So if you worked, I think it was over 30 hours or 40 hours, you couldn't file for unemployment. What in the world is that? But my job was like, oh, if you're not sick or anything, you have to come in or something like that. Like, yo, should I pretend I'm sick? Like, me being healthy, I'm not going to say me being healthy, but I was working out and stuff. So even if I was sick, I wouldn't really feel it, If I was sick, I would probably feel it during the workout, like, oh, this is a little bit tougher, but I don't even think I got COVID that whole entire time. Like, I would take a COVID test, but it was always negative. And I don't know that I've been hearing a lot of things about the antigen test, like it will, not be super accurate. And, who knows? But the sad part is, like, people did die from COVID. Like, my coworker's wife died from COVID, but it wasn't in Washington. She died from visiting her brother in Michigan. And I think he came back from work and, he tested positive and, he told his sister like, hey, you should go get tested because I tested positive. Next thing you know, she's on the hospital bed. And I think she got on a ventilator and that's what caused her to really die. Because that's what I've been hearing about. Like, if you get on a ventilator, you're most likely going to pass away or the chances are really high. And I got another coworker that was out for a whole month. It was a driver. And he was working through it. And he next thing you know, he comes home and his wife is sick. And like, I'm sure he was feeling kind of sick. Like, he wasn't feeling all the way there. Like, as he was saying, he's like, I'm not feeling all the way there. Next thing you know, his wife gets sick. So he's like quarantining his whole family. Like, hey, his daughter, locked her in the room, and his sons locked him in the room. Next thing you know, from what I believe, I think because his wife was sick and he was sitting there trying to take care of his family and stuff. And this was before he was in the hospital for a month. He was getting more of a viral load. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably could have beat it if he wasn't like around it so much. But he did go home. He told his son to drive him to the hospital because he felt like he was going to pass out. So he went to the hospital because he wasn't feeling well. And next thing you know, his oxygen was at like 77, 75, he was saying. And I personally don't know if that's good or bad, but for him to be in hospital for a month, I think it was bad. But he was He was out for a whole entire month. I'm trying to remember exactly what he was telling me, but yeah, that shit was crazy because he almost died. What he was saying is that he was fighting to not be on a ventilator, and he was on a tube. He was on a feeding tube. He was on IVs and stuff, so they can check on his oxygen and stuff, make sure he's good. But he was telling me the doctor woke him up because his oxygen was like really low, and I guess he was fighting the machine. Like the machine was supposed to help him breathe, but he kept trying to breathe on his own, and basically he was doing that for a while, and the doctor was like, hey, a dying man will just give up, but he's not trying to die, or his body's not giving up, so he's definitely going to make it type stuff. And I don't think he was really fighting to be again. He wasn't trying to be on a ventilator, but when the doctor woke him up, he was like, no, she was like, hey, I really need you to be on a ventilator because we don't know if you pass out again if you're going to wake up. So he definitely, made the call to his wife, told him like, hey, I have to be on a ventilator, and one thing he told me that really hurt me was like, oh, he didn't even have time to call his mom. So as soon as he said yes, put me on a ventilator, his nurse was setting up everything. But yeah, like he nearly died. He almost didn't make it, which was crazy. But COVID is serious. Like for young people like me, it might not be that bad, but for older people, it could definitely be bad. And he got vaccinated, and I think he was vaccinated, yeah. Or if he wasn't vaccinated, he got vaccinated for sure after that. And, I have nothing against the vaccinations. I just don't have enough information for me to really want to put that in my body. And from hearing, like, bad stories, and I really haven't heard too many good stories, but I've been hearing a lot of bad stories, and I just didn't want to be a part of it. Like the Johnson & Johnson, that's what I was almost about to get, and that shit, that they took that off, and I'm like, oh, causing blood clots and stuff like that, and it just really worried me, and I didn't really want to deal with that, considering like I work out, and I'm fairly healthy, I eat good, I don't try to do no crazy stuff, but yeah. When COVID was really serious, I isolated myself, definitely kept myself away from the family, which was, kind of messed up. How us civilians had to stay away from our families and try to, mostly stay away from our elders, like our grandparents and stuff like that, so they didn't get sick. And it was crazy times, hand sanitizer. People had gloves on when they were grocery shopping, whole face body suits. It was a crazy time, not gonna lie. But watching Obama have this party, face mask, I didn't see a face mask in sight. I seen them touching and dancing, doing all that, and this was probably the height of the pandemic, which is very upsetting because these politicians pushed this stuff, and apparently they were exempt from the vaccination, which was crazy because if you wasn't vaccinated, they were denying health care, they were denying a lot of stuff. They were denying people their jobs. They were firing them. I know a lot of government workers were getting fired because they didn't want to get the vaccination. I'm sure everybody was scared. They're kind of forcing this shit on us. What I'm really upset about is because there's no studies that the COVID was really hurting these kids. I feel like if anything, they would have just got a cold, and I feel like studies were showing kids would get over it faster. Unless they had comorbidities or something, which to each his own. You never know what people got going on, but they're forcing these kids to be vaccinated in order to go back to school, which I didn't agree with. I don't have any kids, but I don't agree with that at all. Like my sister and brother got vaccinated, and they don't even need they needed it to go to school, but they were healthy. But now that they got vaccinated, they're getting what do they call it? Myocarditis or something like that, and having troubles breathing and stuff like that. I have asthma. That's the last thing I want. But at the same time, if I was to get COVID with asthma, I knew it would have hit me at least hit me twice as hard. But still, I didn't agree with that at all. Kids shouldn't have been vaccinated, or kids shouldn't have been forced to get vaccinated. YouTube's probably going to get mad at me for talking about vaccines, but it's proven that the CDC and all that shit, they were changing it up as they go. Like, oh, you got to wear a mask. Oh, you got to wear double mask. Like, Anyways, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Kind of rambled a little too much. Samsung, you're the motherfucking man for bringing us aware to this type of shit, because I didn't know Obama had a party during the height of the pandemic. Fuck Obama for that. Fuck Obama. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get up out of here.